UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Engage.
78 years have passed since the days of the original USS Enterprise. Now a new Galaxy starship has been designed.
Transporter Chief, beam our listeners aboard. Welcome to Galaxy Class, a Star Trek The Next Generation podcast on the United Federation of Podcast Network. I am your host today, Chief Recreational Officer Rhea Papagiorgio, along with Counselor Amy Nelson and Chief of Time is Broken, Joe Keegan. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody.
Hi, Rhea. Hi, Amy.
Hello.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah, time is totally broken because it's that time of year, one of two times a year, where we forget that daylight savings and British summertime happen at different times. So in the US, it's already happened, but ours isn't until next week. So when we say we're recording at a certain time, it turns out it's not that time, it's an hour earlier for me, which means I'm not actually home for recording, and I have to drive really fast home and break all the speed limits.
And
like
you
do
did.
that slingshot effect on the sun kind of idea.
Which, it's amazing what those Teslas can do.
I know.
Technology of the Borg.
I was really hoping to see like grey floating heads float up out the clouds as I walked past the sun. Like Amy pops up, it's just a grey floating head, and Rhea, and there's Kevin and the dogs and all sorts. So didn't happen. Couldn't have been going fast enough.
Yeah, next time.
Logs accessed.
Let's check the communication array to see if we have any comments from our listeners.
So we have some feedback from them, Amy and Rhea retelling of their times on that rubbish rowing boat that they were on in the Caribbean. Yeah, that was episode 81 of Galaxy Class. And we've got a couple of people who weirdly, like Mohammed Noor says, it was such a fun cruise. I don't know, maybe they were serving peyote instead of water. Heidi Stuck, who wasn't on the cruise, said she's terrified of cruises because she has horrible issues with seasickness, but really such FOMO from seeing you all there. Yeah, no, I didn't get FOMO. I was like, that looks terrible, so I'm kind of glad I wasn't. Paul Wright Jr. was very jealous. Jim McMahon wished he'd been able to afford the cruise, but looking forward to meeting you guys in Chicago. Jim, we're looking forward to seeing you. Paul Wright Jr. again, asking if anybody needs a cabin mate for 2023, to which Amy replied, this is how it starts. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Yeah, that's how it starts. Thanks a lot, Amy.
And then our old friend Claude Hogue says, what a great recap of a cruise. What a great recap of a great cruise, Amy. I am glad that you have overcome your fear of chatting with the stars. Great job. Sounds like you both had an awesome time. Was hoping to see you in Vegas this year, but unfortunately my schedules do not work this year. Maybe next year. Keep up the awesome podcast work. Yeah, Claude, I think we should start. What are those litigation processes? Like a class action lawsuit against creation, because we now all can't make STLV. Stupidness.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for your comments.
Yes, thank you. We have a comment from What If, episode 6.
And that's Amy trying to read her Roman numerals.
I know, and the funny thing is like I insist on using them. That's the funny part, listeners. So that was Galaxy Class number 80, and Casey Pettitt says, Did Kevin just mansplain to Joe? Ha ha ha.
Was that when Kevin mansplained what mansplaining was?
Yeah, I think that was when Kevin mansplained mansplaining to the mansplainer.
Yeah. And there's a reason why Kevin's not on this episode. Just saying.
This is the captain. Senior officers will report to my ready room immediately.
Listeners, today we are continuing our This Is My Trek series. We have joining us today a gentleman that you have seen in everything, and I mean everything, from SWAT to The Rookie to Grey's Anatomy to Bones to Criminal Minds, Don't Trust the Bee in Apartment 23, 2.5 Men, Two Broke Girls, Modern Family, Days of Our Lives, Law and Order LA, Mike and Molly, The Bold and the Beautiful, Entourage, NCIS, The Shield, The Orville, Star Trek Renegades, Star Trek 2009, Raven Van Slender Saves Christmas. Why, yes, this is the one and only Rico E. Anderson. Rico, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here. What a laundry list. It's crazy when you look back, and then all the memories of being on set is cool. It's really cool.
And that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, whenever I do a bio, I always put just to name a few. But even though I've given you a nice little, laundry list of stuff that I was blessed to be in. So
as long as you get Raven Van Slender Saves Christmas in there, then we're happy.
You know what? Technically, that's my first Christmas movie. I've always wanted to do a Christmas movie. Like, I really want to do like a Hallmark movie, where your traditional, boy meets girl, boy falls in love with girl, ex-boyfriend comes into town, kicks up dust, tries to buy the whole town.
Oh, so you've seen a few of those.
Listen, I may or may not have dated a couple of people who were religious Hallmark Channel fans, and I'll just leave it at that. No, I actually have a couple of friends who have done a bunch of them, and yeah, it's the cute little traditional stories.
It's a guilty pleasure.
It is.
Would you be the new boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, or the girl?
I would want to play the ex-boyfriend, because basically I like playing the villain. I like playing the big bad wolf sometimes, But I like the idea of being the love interest. I think I make a nice little love interest as I strike a pose. I don't know why.
I mean, hey, stretch your acting skills. Play a good guy.
It would be a stretch, but hey, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Rico, you're a little bit of a Star Trek fan, aren't you?
Very so slightly. You would never know. I love Star Trek.
And so, what did you see first? Why do you enjoy Star Trek now all of these years?
Yeah. My first introduction to Star Trek was the original series when
You're
back in the day. Huh? No.
Old.
I mean,
I should say, okay, hey, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. I am not, number one. No, back during the original series reruns.
Okay.
There would be before there were 20 million channels, there would be like after school cartoons that would be played, and you would see a lot of the classics, and the original series was one of the classics that they throw up there as part of the lineup. And I remember seeing it, and I remember just really loving the stories and seeing the cool aliens and all that kind of stuff. And now, as far as like what I consider my first Star Trek, as far as the new Star Trek, that would be Next Gen. And I just I just always loved what Star Trek represented and how it just ties into a lot of society and it ties into it in a way where it makes you look at yourself, it makes you look at society, but it also is fun to see because, the villain is an alien, or, you know what I mean? It's just, it has all these cool elements of really wonderful storytelling. And if you look past, I think it's really sad that a lot of people are just like, ew, sci-fi. I don't get it. I don't understand it. But it's just like, take the second to watch it, because you're really watching something that's no different than another movie that's not sci-fi that would have those type of, if it had that type of storyline. So, except it just has somebody with on their forehead.
A forehead, yes.
Yeah. So it's like a Hallmark movie, but more realistic.
It's a Hallmark movie, but with ridges.
Yes. So do you have a favorite episode, least favorite episode, particularly with Next Generation?
Well, I think we can all agree that one of the least favorite episodes amongst fans alike is the one where Beverly was making love to the ghost.
The ghost.
Which turned out to be an alien, but still everyone was like, is she banging a ghost? Really?
Yeah.
You know,
Her grandmother's
so there's
ghost.
that. And her grandmother's it's like
I hate that episode for a completely different reason. It's like we've got a planet of Scottish folk and one alien guy, and like, they moved all the bricks of a church from Earth in Kilmarnock, I think it was, and everything they say is just vaguely offensive and all wrong,
Right.
and it annoys me. So I don't mind the ghost sex thing. The ghost sex thing's fine. It's all the other stuff, and I'm like
The misrepresentation of Scotland and
Yes.
Scottish culture.
yeah, pretty much.
so they really didn't think that part through when they made that.
No, the alien guy who's got a Scottish accent, which I don't get, it says something about the hills of Kilmarnock. And I drive by the town of Kilmarnock pretty much every day, and it's really flat. It's like the flattest place in Scotland, pretty much. There are no hills, so I don't know what he's talking about. And that, I just set me over the edge. That triggers me. So I don't know why you mentioned it, Rico.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Thanks a lot, Rico.
I'm sorry. I'll just see myself out.
Bye.
But you know what? It's funny because you mentioned like an alien who just happens to have I think you said the Scottish accent.
Yeah.
That's the thing that has always been funny to me with Trek. It's like, I mean, look, we have people from all over the world who are actors who are playing this character or that character, and of course, like even the Star Wars, it's like most of the actors are British, but like I think people were saying, how is a Romulan, and they were referring to Laris from Picard. How does she? Doesn't she have a Scottish accent?
No, she's Irish.
Irish. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. They were like, how does she? But I've never really looked at it that way. I'm just like, there's just an Irish actor playing the part, but it's like that's no different than the fact that again, a lot of Star Wars actors are British, minus the core. Well, some of the core is too, but you know what I mean. So it's kind of like, but people were really like, "Gee, is what? How?" People were like, "How?"
Yeah, I suppose who's the other guy in Picard? Elnor is he's
Australian.
Kiwi, isn't he? Or is he
Yeah,
Australian?
New Zealand, I think.
It's New Zealand, yeah.
Okay.
So we've got another Romulan, but with an Australian New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
Which is it's fine because if you think about like, infinite diversity and infinite combinations, these planets will have a whole host of accents themselves. So
Just like our planet.
yeah.
Except-
I mean, I'm here for it, and but it's it's still a little interesting when you watch. You're like, oh, okay, so this stuff. But it's interesting also that Star Trek, because you would think that when creating a storyline like that, they would really take the time to dig into the culture, what it's really about, what should be and shouldn't be, and things like that. Star Trek, for the most part, seems like they've always been good about that. At least, if anything, touching on certain things. But it actually helps to put a whole new perspective on that episode, as opposed to Beverly banged a ghost. But now that I'm hearing what you were saying, Joe,
Other things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it even puts it even crazier perspective. So
I think that modern day Trek would take the time to maybe try and get a little bit about the Scottish part right, whereas Legacy Trek played a little more fast and loose with that because you've got the Sub Rosa, the Scottish representation there. You've got Up the Down Ladder.
Up the long ladder, with the Irish.
Up the long ladder, with the Irish.
Yeah. And how they're
You've got
Code of Honor.
Code of Honor and Justice. Some people don't see Justice as it, but Code of Honor, that's pretty universally derided as just an outright racist episode. That definitely would not get made today.
No.
Wait, Code of Honor. Which one was that? Was
It's the they were like kind of aliens, but they were like tribal African folk who captured Tasha Yar,
Yar.
and the king guy wanted to marry Tasha, and she had to fight.
But then it ended up being the woman that was in control and in possession of the power.
So Rico, we podcasted about Code of Honor a while back now. Essentially, there was 4 of us podcasting. There was Rhea, you were there, yeah, I was there. Pierre was there, who's let me get his ethnicity
Haitian.
right. He's Haitian, like American,
Haitian Italian.
All right, okay. So
American.
yeah, when our episode came out, we kind of got slammed for not hating Code of Honor as much as we should have in terms of how racist it was. And I suppose my question was, I would like to hear from like the people that were in it, like the guest actors who were playing these tribal African folk on an alien planet, because I know the main cast have all come out and says that I don't know how we got that made. So what's kind of your take on it?
Can I just interject a little bit, and then I'll sorry, Rico. But so, Joe, to your point, it's sort of like what you were saying with Sub Rosa, like the story, and this is sort of how we describe Code of Honor, like the story aspect of it, the story is good, but how they portrayed it, and so we sort of got some throwback from that because they were like, no, it's not a good episode. And so wondering, just adding to that.
This is what I remember hearing from like people that I've talked about it. A couple of points that people brought up. You have this proud, basically African society, and the leader who could have gotten anybody on the planet sees this white woman and loses his mind. That was definitely one of the main concerns. It's like, you have this, you were coming from a planet. You're not coming from, a city. You're coming from a whole planet. A planet. Mm-hmm. And from that planet, you see this white woman and you're just like, she's the one. She's the one. And that was, I remember that being a huge, one of many topics. And just the fact that because there is I don't want to say it's a thing in the Black community, but there is there can be or has been discussions in terms of if you're Black, should you be with a Black person? If you're in an interracial marriage, how, why, that kind of stuff. It's not so much that it was the white woman, because, love who you want to love. But it was because of what that story represented and because of who this person was. It came out weird. It came out awkward. Mm-hmm. And I remember when I saw it, it great seeing Black folks on TV in that position was great as a whole. But then, the story seemed to take an interesting that turn where it was like, whoa, okay, huh. And this dude was willing to fight to the death for her, and shun this other woman who was just like, I'm right here, mm-hmm. I'm from this world. I'm, and all of that, so. Yeah.
That's a really interesting point, and I've never thought about it that way. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, Pluto TV has a whole Star Trek channel, and they play the episode. The episode is played. I think they play all 7 seasons, but they play the episode, and it's always interesting to even go back and watch it over and over. Even if you look at it now today, you see a lot more representation of not only African Americans, but you see also representation of interracial relationships, marriage, of course, LGBTQ plus. So many different representations, which is wonderful. and that's fine. But it just comes off weird when you have a storyline like that where a whole planet and Denise Crosby, beautiful woman. But
it's interesting because I think it was last season, and correct me if I'm wrong, like Discovery, and there was like the episode or the one scene or something where it was all people of color, and then like it was a big thing on Twitter. What's going on? Why is this a scene with only people of color? Where's the diversity? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, it was very shocking, but it's still happening now-ish. And did Star Trek mean to do that as they did in Code of Honor, or did they do it better? Right?
What episode was that?
Oh,
it was on Disco?
Hold on.
Yeah, I remember
Amy, there
hearing
was
of it.
the season finale of Discovery that just aired. Had
spoiler alert, people.
Yeah, if you've not watched it, skip past this bit. But there were three. I think it was three African American women having a conversation that wasn't about a man, so it passed the Bechdel test. And they all had their own differing opinions about something. It was General Ndoye, Michael Burnham, and
the other person,
somebody else,
the president of United Earth.
She's a white woman, white actress playing half Cardassian, half human.
Really?
And then at the very end, we got friggin' Stacey Abrams. Sorry if you've not seen it. Now the Georgia House of Representatives woman. Campaigned.
She's running for governor.
Yeah, running for governor of Georgia. Campaigned against voter suppression in Georgia.
Yeah.
So she's a big US politician woman, and she played a cameo of the president of a United Earth at the end of this season finale. Have you not seen it, Rhea?
Oh, I've seen it, but I learn about my American politics from Joe.
Okay.
There's millions of miles.
Yes.
I had no idea that's who she was. I had no idea.
It's huge. I mean, a Democrat, African woman in Georgia representing, it's awesome.
Very powerful.
Very powerful. Strong statement.
Yeah, it really was. But you guys were saying that. I know there were some people who were butthurt over that and, feeling their way. I thought it was great. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was beautiful to see. As an actor, I actually thought she did a really wonderful job. I really did.
Yeah.
I was like, because as an actor, I'm just like, all right, let's see if a girl, if she got the job, see if she could. Okay, she's killing it. All right, go on, Stacey. Like she took her moments. She was delivering. And you can tell they worked with her, which is great. You should always work with actors trained. Even professional actors still trained. But it was wonderful to see, and I thought she did a great job, and it definitely did tell a statement. But it also just looked right. It fit well. I loved it. I thought it was great. But the whole idea of people complain, you guys said that they were complaining about there being too many people of color in the room.
Only people of color in the room.
Yeah.
Shut up. Please.
I know, it's so terrible.
Shut up.
That makes me think of a quote from Ruth Bader Ginsburg where, and I don't remember the exact words, but basically she said that there's no reason why the Supreme Court shouldn't be 100% women. And of course, that's just, it should be 50-50. And she's like,
I'm here
why?
for it.
For how many decades was it 100% men?
Right.
I mean,
well, yeah.
If that's okay, why isn't this okay?
Well, that's history. It's like even when you read toxic fandom, even when you read comments and postings from the bold ones who want to speak out against Black History Month, who want to speak out against Women's History Month, who want to speak out against recognizing Black excellence, somebody being the first Black person or the first woman or the first Latino or the first Asian for whatever the accomplishment is, you always have somebody coming on and saying, well, how come there's not a White History Month? Why do we always have to like look at color? I don't see color. Da 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 da. And I'm like, it's very interesting how it always comes from somebody to whom this type of thing doesn't even you don't even relate to. But if you're an ally and if you're a person just with a soul, you do recognize what is being done here. There's nothing offensive about saying, hey, Black excellence, let's concentrate on such and such, who was the first Black whoever who did this, that, and the other. That's a beautiful thing. Why is it a beautiful thing? Because at a time when Black people weren't even considered to be members of Congress, to be president, to be the head of anything, we have to have these moments to show that the representation is there, because representation matters. And because representation matters, you need to show these levels of success that happens. Because guess what? When I was a little kid, I had people that I saw and looked up to and was very inspired by. You look at Black Panther and what Black Panther did for little Black kids, where you see little Black boys going up to posters of Black Panther going, that's me, I'm him. I did that as a kid with, I hate, again, this is before they are who they are, but when they were huge.
Yeah.
One was O.J. Simpson, because O.J. Simpson back in the day was, he was the face of Hertz. He was an incredible football player. He had this look, and he was like the poster child for success, for drive.
Determination,
determination. Then you have Muhammad Ali, who throughout his career, all the way up until he passed, was always a pinnacle for civil rights, positivity, just being a wonderful human being. He was a big inspiration to me. So, you have representation, and it hits no matter if you're a little Black child from the South Side of Chicago, if you're a young girl and you're seeing, the first female vice president, the first female anything in politics, the first female anything in business. And you see it represented, not so much the fact that it hasn't always been there, but you're seeing it. It's important to show that. So with the people who are just like, why do we have, it's like, shut up, please, shut up.
And that is something about Discovery Season 4 that I think they're hitting out of the park, is all the leaders are women. You have like your token, Admiral
running it,
or whatever,
running
but
thing,
all the presidents, everyone, they're all women. And I just know people's manties are in a bunch about it, and that's what we had to live through for all these decades. So deal. And Stacey Abrams there, I had no idea that she wasn't just another actor. I had no idea who she was.
You're welcome.
Which, thanks, Joe. Which I think just shows that she wasn't just some token. Obviously she did something to earn. Yeah,
she is a Star Trek fan,
role.
By all accounts.
I was just gonna say she's a huge Trekkie.
Yeah. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Huge Trekkie, I love it. It's like when Nichelle Nichols went to the White House and visited President Obama. That was wow.
I know, and the fact that he wanted to meet her, like, that's cool.
Yeah. Yes. It's like, wow. I mean, you got an iconic moment about to jump off with those two meetings. But it's like, please give me a break when it comes to all of this complaining about why are there nothing but Black people in the room or Black people and women in the room. Please stop it. Yeah. Stop it. Do your research. First of all, quit being dumb. It's a dumb thing to say, but at the end of the day, if you're just that ignorant, research it and understand why it is mentioned. Understand why it is important. It may not be important to you, but it's important to a whole group of people.
Yes.
There's got to be a reason why. And it's not a negative thing. Yeah. Understand. And if you understand, or if you research it and you learn, then you understand. And again, if you have a soul, you'll understand even more. Everything that happened in 2020 with the civil rights movement coming off of what happened with George Floyd is not the first time something this big has happened. Something that big on the level that it happened, that was big. That was the first time where the whole world was like, this ain't right. We're all going to speak out. But what happened is nothing new, because it happens all the time when you see it publicly being mentioned in the news, but it also happens even more when it's not being recorded, when you don't read about it. Police brutality happens all the time.
And has for decades and decades.
Centuries.
Yeah.
Centuries. And even when we do get it on tape, the injustice has been there. The injustice has been there. So be a little bit more understanding, compassionate, and just open up your mind. Don't trip when you see a bunch of people of color and women in a room running things.
I love representation for other groups as well, because the excitement is from those groups that are being represented. The excitement and it's palpable. Them being seen and seen themselves. So, like you mentioned, Black Panther, that whole craze when Black Panther was in the cinemas and the movies, it was a really highly advanced black culture in Wakanda, and it
was never touched by Western civilization.
Exactly, yeah. But just seeing people in the movie theaters being super excited about it, just because it was the ultimate in representation, got me excited for them. So any type of representation like that's positive, I get excited about.
It's been exciting for me to see my friends being so excited about Stamets and Culber.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, it's the norm in life, and why wouldn't it be reflected? Listen, Star Trek, I believe, has always been very much ahead of that game when it comes to it. And that's one of the things that I really love about the franchise, even back during the original series. And I'm not just talking about Uhura, but, you have Uhura, you have Sulu. These are representations that are part of the main cast, the main crew, representing in a way where it's like, we exist in the future. It's the reason why Whoopi Goldberg is a part of Star Trek, because of her seeing Nichelle Nichols. But even beyond that, one of the presidents of the Federation, even back during, well, no, not the president, but you had Black Admirals back in the original series days. It was very much
Brock Peters.
Huh?
Brock Peters. Star Trek
Brock
4.
Peters. Well, Brock Peters was from the movies and, of course, DS9.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, even back during the original series. Where, like, Daystrom, and Enterprise, even though that's more modern, but even though it takes place before the original series, the creator of the transporter was a black guy. And you have, that's the representation that Star Trek has been really great. I believe really, really great in terms of throwing out there from back in the day. That's why it's so important to hear Nichelle Nichols' story and really understand why it's important, and why Dr. King said to her, it's very important that you continue to represent like you do. We exist in the future, and that's important. People may not think that that's an important thing, but it is.
Far beyond the stars, the dreamer has become the dream, and the dream is, reality.
Yeah. Shout out to Mark Scott Zicree, who came up with the concept for it, and created definitely one of the best Star Trek episodes ever.
Like the finest
and
hour
shout out
of
to
television, period.
Oh yeah, and really shout out to the crew of DS9 in general for creating a wonderful character in Ben Sisko, because you also look like, in terms of me being a black man growing up without a father, you had a story of a single black father raising his child while basically running a corporation and dealing with, the world coming to him. And doing it like a boss, you know what I mean? And killing the game. So yeah, this representation matters. At the end of the day, representation matters. And here we are. So.
Yeah.
And Star Trek continues to do it, and they continue to kill it in a good way. And I love it. It's one of the main reasons why I really love Star Trek, because I love seeing the representation like it should be. Culber and Stamets, it's a beautiful thing to see, and we should see more of it.
Well, one thing that you said that I've really been focused on, especially since attending the cruise, was this connecting and understanding, communicating. And what you're saying, like, if you don't understand why it's important to have this representation, then research, ask why, and don't stop asking why until you get it in your head. And that may take years and years, because obviously there's a lot of people who watch Star Trek and still aren't asking the question why. Why is it important to this group of people? It's not important to me. Great, because you've never had to experience it. But opening that dialogue, having a safe place to go to and learning to become an ally, it's not a natural thing. I feel. I think you have to work at it, and you have to really find someone, who you can trust, and you can ask questions like, what does this mean? Why is it important to you? Going to someone, asking those questions, getting that information so that it sinks in. I mean, that's what Star Trek is. That's what I feel like this whole season of Discovery is about, like communicating so that you understand. It's not being talked to. It's not being, I'm telling you something. It's, I'm listening to you. And that transition, I thought was shown brilliantly in this past season of Discovery.
I think that, the Star Trek fandom, just overall, it's become, and there is always toxic fandom to Rico, and thankfully, I, for one, don't have any contact with it, but I'm also not on Twitter. But it's become this safe community where, like Amy was talking about the cruise, I guarantee you that anyone that had questions about why is this important, why, had issues with the representation, could have gone to somebody on the cruise and said, hey, I don't understand, can you explain this to me? Yeah. But the key is, if you're there to listen, you need to listen with an open mind and an open heart and be willing to be changed.
Sure.
And Star Trek, it provides such, look at our conversation now. It's such a launching point for such rich, in-depth discussions.
I've never had an issue with somebody asking me a question about something that they don't understand. Where my issue comes from, if you're asking for the purpose of wanting me to explain myself, explain my existence, explain, because now I feel like I am being attacked, because I feel like you're coming at me in a way where it's just like, everything you're saying is BS, but I will allow you to explain why you should exist in this world in the way that you feel, you should.
And then I'll tell you why you're wrong. But go ahead.
Yeah. And then there's that. Yeah, exactly. And that's the point where I'm just like, dude, the heck with you. I'm not even going to engage in this conversation with you. Right. Because chances are I know how it's going to go. And you are being toxic to me, but you're also being toxic to yourself, and you're denying the opportunity. Humans should always, we should never stop learning. Just because we're grown and sexy, we should never stop learning. You know what I mean? So it's like, life is all about learning. If I've offended you on something, you got to tell me why. And just me being the understanding person I'm gonna be, I'm not going to try to attack you and be like, oh, yeah, whatever, man, you just stripping. No. So it is important to ask questions. It is important to want to learn more and be open-minded. One of the things that really irks me is when I hear people saying, oh, well, you're just, dividing, that just helps to divide the country, or it's race baiting and all that. And I feel like that's always been like a cop-out when it comes to stuff like that. Because again, I think you're not getting it, or you refuse to try to get it. You refuse to just have an open mind about life and life outside of whatever bubble you came from, that your mind will not absorb more information. But with that said, I believe that there are some great Trek fans that, that I've come across that, you guys and that really do understand it and are, they understand why IDIC exists, why it was important for people like Leonard Nimoy, who, when they approached him about the animated series, he was like, I don't feel like this should be done unless everybody is brought on board. Well, yeah, he did it because that's his crew, and he wants to work with his people again. But also he recognized that Uhura played an important part as a part of this series. Chekhov played an important part. Sulu played an important part. Women being a part of the series, that's an important thing. So yeah. I'm excited also, and I'm kind of going off. I'm excited for Strange New Worlds because I really hope they do more and give Uhura more to do with the gifts that we all know she has when it comes to like how they kind of retconned her being a linguist, and being able to pick up all languages. Obviously that came from Hoshi from Enterprise, but it worked and it made sense. And I hope they really tap into that. And I hope they make her the badass that, give her some just badass, like Michael Burnham type moments, because that's always been like one of my only like issues with, where Uhura really wasn't given the chance to, come off, where at the end of the episode, people are like, she's so badass. I love that woman. So,
Yeah. And isn't it crazy how back in the 60s, just the fact that she was on the bridge at that point in history was enough. At this point in history, it's not really enough, and we need more. But we also need some Greek representation, but let's not open that wound. But yeah.
Has there ever been?
No, unless you count Captain Giorgio in terms of characters. She has a Greek name. She's my future descendant. She's played by a Malaysian actor, but...
Right, but you don't have...
a Greek that's not in the kitchen.
Right. Well, we got to get it. Listen. They do listen, and they do watch and read comments, and maybe they don't take all of them to heart, but Chicago, mention it to somebody from Disco. Be like, where are the Greeks?
Wait. Disco season 5 is the beginning of a decades-long love affair between a particular just middle-aged Greek woman and David Ajala. I mean, book.
Are you
Make
playing?
It so.
Are you playing
Make
this
it
woman?
So. Joe, that's a wonderful idea.
Well.
Wow, you are brilliant.
Alex Kurtzman, are you listening? Are you watching?
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Whew. All right.
Yeah.
Glad
you all right?
you
You need a break? You need to take 5?
It's getting warm in here. Oh, Rhea.
Oh my God.
Can't take it anymore.
I'm here for it. Although I don't think they're going to break up so anytime soon.
It's about time Michael Burnham gets... I know, instead of killing her off, they can send her back to whatever century Captain Giorgio is, and she can be part of the whole Section 31 thing.
Yeah. That would be interesting.
There. Problem solved.
Well, they do disappear after a while.
They do. They do. See? Okay, this is perfect.
On a short track, so who knows?
How many writing credits do you have, Rico? Let's add one to that.
Yeah. Story idea, Vi.
Yes. This is how we came up with Raven Van Slender Saves Christmas.
Really?
It was the Nichelle Nichols farewell weekend. Do you remember we were getting ready to go to the party, and we were
downstairs at the restaurant
there.
Yeah,
with James Balsamo and Bill Arukin.
Yeah.
And I mean, I take full credit for the Christmas idea, but you were there. We all started talking about it.
I don't remember.
You had been drinking a little bit. But...
Yeah. How many drinks was that?
Oh, I don't know, 3, 4. You know, it was a long day. You get to the point where just leave the bottle.
Drinking a half. Rico's a lightweight.
I am. It's not pretty. No, I'm not sloppy. No, it's just, I am a lightweight. Okay, leave me alone.
It's okay. It's okay. There's room for all of us, all levels of the.
Okay, so Rico.
Yes.
I love how you look at a story and like you break it down, and as your profession is as an actor, did that influence you to become an actor? And then I really want to know, like, it seems like your first credit for Star Trek is Orville, and yes, we claim the Orville is Star Trek. And I want to know how in the heck you got that, and tell me all about the Orville.
For the Orville. What was the first question?
So your story, your love of stories, I feel, and from just listening to you, did that persuade you or
want to be an actor?
Yeah, to be an actor.
I've wanted to be an actor ever since I was 7. No joke. I've always wanted. I've always watched TV and just always had that thing of that looks so cool. I want to do that. I really want to do that. And I've just always loved watching TV, but from the perspective of really wanting to be doing what they're doing. And over time, you train to know how to break down a script, how to look at a story, and things like that. And that's where my the thing where I break down, a storyline. That's just training. Mm-hmm. I love reading. I love audiobooks too. So I love stories in general.
Yeah. I can hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a huge time travel fan, so I'm loving Picard this season because I love stories involving time travel. I mean, you take my money, you always got. So that's the answer to that. Give me the next question. Sorry,
Orville. Tell me all about Orville. Right. Like, how did you even know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have an agent, who submits me for different roles, but I made a point of mentioning to them, listen, I'm a huge sci-fi fan, and I love Star Trek, and I love Star Wars, and I love all these, huge franchises that just have these amazing stories that were actually, in essence, part of the soundtrack to my life,
Mm-hmm.
So, pop culture, things that we grew up going, yay. So when I did Star Trek Renegades, trying to point properly. Star Trek.
Listeners, Rico is pointing to the poster right behind
Renegades.
Star
That's
Trek
right.
Renegades.
I'm pointing to my poster of Star Trek Renegades. So when I did Star Trek Renegades, I really suck at pointing backwards and looking at a screen. So when I did Star Trek Renegades, one of the cool things that I loved about it was obviously Star Trek, but also the fact that I played this villain, the villain Boros, and I was in this prosthetic makeup. And it was so cool. It took like 4 hours to put on, and I loved every minute of being in the chair and doing it and everything. I just had so much fun. So here comes the Orville, and it was this new franchise that had a lot of buzz, a lot of hype, and I'm just looking at and I know that Seth MacFarlane is a huge Star Trek fan, and you're seeing Next Generation all over this thing. In terms of the style and everything. And now that we've seen, 2 seasons of it, even storylines, very Next Generation, a lot of love there. So I wanted in because there was so much hype behind it. And I, listen, just like any actor, I asked my agent, hey, please put special emphasis on this show when the breakdowns come out looking for this character and that character. So yeah, so I auditioned for a couple of roles and didn't get them. And then I ended up auditioning for the Mocklin Doctor, ended up getting that. And yeah, back in the prosthetic chair with like full makeup and it was just great. It was so much fun. And it was in the first season where you know, there was a lot of hype behind this new show, and people didn't know exactly what it was going to be about. Is it going to be Family Guy in space? Are they going to be doing a scene, and then all of a sudden, you know, Captain Mercer is like, well, reminds me of the time that I, you know, da-da-da-da-da. Then, you know, we got a Family Guy flashback. None of that.
Fighting with a chicken.
Yeah. All of a sudden, is there a chicken on the Orville? We'll see. So,
well, it comes close when they do the practical joke with the leg.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, you definitely have some McFarlisms as far as the comedy, but what's great is he's giving us a little bit of the fan service because fans of McFarlane we need to see something of that. But at the end of the day, he's delivering some amazing stories. And I mean, talk about coming in hot and coming out the gate like, the storyline that I was involved in about a girl.
Oh gosh, yeah.
I get side-eyed to this day because I'm like, so I'm the doctor that performed the operation that turned the girl back into a boy.
Yeah, good job, buddy.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Love you guys. But you know, just when you think, oh, well, we already know what's going to happen. There's going to be this moral speech that comes in a la Kirk, and then they're going to make the decision to keep the baby a girl.
Yep.
Nope. Back to being a boy. And then later on, spoiler alert, if you haven't been watching the shows, we find out that the Mocklins are full of it and that all Mocklins aren't born male. And there's like a whole planet of women, female Mocklins, and they 9-to-5 the heck out of that show. So, you know,
they did.
Yeah, they so straight good. Up, you know, they straight up boss up and they're just like, you know, no more, you know? So, yeah, it was a fun show to work on. And there was just all this anticipation. Are we going to be good? Are we going to suck? Is it going to work? It's going to work. And, yeah, to this day, the show, you know, it show's moving to Hulu, which gives them a lot more wiggle room for the new season. Yeah, gives them a lot more wiggle room, you know, to do more stuff. You don't really have the network, you know, and the FCC, you know, rules that, you know, prohibit you from doing things. And it's going to be interesting because at the end of the day, it's like, okay, now they're on Hulu. Let's see what, you know, the chains have been taken off just based on that alone. I had so much fun. I actually love doing the whole prosthetic thing. It's such a cool thing. I see why Doug Jones loves, you know, who's the king of that, the king of prosthetic. I see why he loves playing those characters because there's so much to acting. Your acting becomes even more because you have stuff over you, and in a lot of cases, your eyes, depending on how fully prosthetic you are, your eyes have to basically tell the story. Your actions, subtle actions, have to, because you don't have the luxury of showing expression. You look at Robert O'Reilly, who plays Gowron.
Yeah.
He's a great example. But even Michael Dorn, who plays Worf, when he's mad, you know he's mad. He's very quiet, but then his eyes get really, like, you see his eyes turning into like this rage that all of a sudden makes you know. But what it does, it's a great way to really show your acting when you are literally hidden. In a lot of ways. In a way, it's almost like voice work, because in voice work, you have to be able to convey everything just by the voice alone. So like when you listen to audiobooks, you have to really feel what's being said because you can't see it, but hopefully you're painting the picture as well. Hopefully if the actor is doing their job, they're helping to paint that picture through their words, and how they're saying it and things like that. And hopefully you're coming out, happy, sad, pissed off, crying, whatever.
Just like Joe Keegan does during story time.
Oh, wow.
And Rico, you most definitely have the face for voice work. So what?
The face
I'm
for
sorry.
voice work. Thank you.
You have the voice for voice work and the face for prosthetics. Oh, stop it, Rhea. Be nice to the guests.
I like the face for voice work. That could actually be a cool meme. Hi, I'm Rico Anderson. I have the face for voice work. Cast me, please.
And think of Rhea whenever you do that. But what are you up to these days?
Yeah, Rico, I just looked up your IMDb profile, and like the first 8 things on it are all new things that you're working on, like either in pre-production or post or currently filming. So there's quite a lot that you're doing.
Yeah. There's a couple of things that are cool things that are happening. So I'm on the TV show Truth Be Told, which is it stars Octavia Spencer and Ron Cephas Jones from This Is Us. We're in our 3rd season.
Yes.
Yeah. It's on Apple TV Plus.
So I've seen it. That's you.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I play. Well, I had an afro on the show.
Yeah.
I play Herbie on the show.
Wow.
Yeah, and I run the biker bar called The Knock. And we're actually about to go into our 3rd season. We just got word about a week ago that we knew we were renewed, but we just got word about about 2 weeks ago that we're going to start up shooting within the next month. So that's happening. We're back in the mix for that. I recur on SWAT as Shamar Moore's father in flashback scenes. I play young Daniel Sr. Older Daniel is played by Oba Babatunde, amazing actor. People don't know who he is. He's a Broadway singer, actor, just brilliant artist. I'm also in a film called On Smoother Dirt, which tells the story of Ernie Banks, who is I know
Rhea's squealing here.
No, it's such a wonderful story. It tells the story of Ernie Banks, who played for the Kansas City Monarchs. And if people don't know the name, it's from the Negro Leagues from back in the day. Again, representation mattering back in the day when black players weren't allowed in the major league. So guess what? You had to create your own leagues. And as a result, the Negro Leagues were born, and you had these amazing players, one of the most famous ones being Jackie Robinson. Yeah. This story is going to bring Ernie Banks' story to life. And I play Buck O'Neill, who is the manager of the Kansas City Monarchs. And I'm really excited for that. And we're going to be shooting sometime, I believe, in the summer. It's still up in the air as to when. So, yeah. So that's happening. And
I'm really excited for that because I actually knew Buck O'Neill.
Yeah. I was so excited when you told me that because, trust me, with Mr. O'Neill being gone now, I need to tap into everyone and anyone who has ever talked to him or met him or who knew him, because I really want to help get in. I want to do this part all the justice that it deserves and give the respect that is needed to it. I'm so excited to be shooting this. The film stars myself along with Oscar winner Louis Gossett Jr. And Andy Garcia is also a part of the cast as well. I'm so excited for this film. Just wow. To be able to play a character like that is, I mean, it's almost a full circle in a lot of ways because, you know, without dating myself, another person that I looked up to as an actor was and still is Louis Gossett Jr. from back in the day when he was in the TV show Roots, the limited series Roots, and just his work as a whole throughout his career. And now I'm going to be doing a film with him and Andy Garcia. I mean,
oh my gosh.
You know,
So amazing.
Yeah. So super excited about that. We're going to be shooting, I believe, in Atlanta, and squee.
I know.
So so that's what's happening. And a couple of things I can't speak on, but yeah, it's becoming an exciting year. I do a lot of sci-fi cons as well. So I'm going to be. I have a few lined up as well that I do celebrity appearances, greet fans, sell autographs, and be a part of the nerd culture while nerding out myself because I'm still a huge nerd, and it's I'm gonna be at WonderCon in April, and also Wonderfest in Kentucky, and it's gonna be so fun and so exciting because I'm still a fan and I nerd out when I see, oh my gosh, that's such and such's table. Oh my gosh, that's dude from da da da. Hey, that's the girl from da da da. I'm a big old kid in the candy store. I love it.
So about the stuff that you can't tell is because you're not allowed. You can tell us. We won't tell anyone if you want.
It's just you four or you three, right?
Between the four of us.
We won't tell a soul.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Promise.
Yeah. There are snipers that I believe and ninjas that are currently like waiting to take me out, and probably you guys too. So I don't know. You might want to retract that idea because I could tell you stuff right now, but it would be the last thing you ever did, and I ever say. So.
Okay.
Well, we can't let that happen before.
You don't want that.
Yeah, we have to get to.
No, but
we've got to get to Chicago before. So.
That's right.
I know.
That's right.
No, but it's fun stuff, and I'm really excited for it. It's a thing called an NDA, basically a non-disclosure agreement that you can't say certain things.
Oh, Jonathan Frakes breaks those all the time.
Exactly. I was just about to say.
Yeah, but that's Jonathan Frakes
Robert Beltran.
I know. I know. But you know what? I think part of that is also part of the publicity, like a publicity stunt, because it's like now people are talking about it. Now there's hype. You know what I mean? Yeah. But also they are who they are, and they can kind of get away because it's kind of like, I think Tom Holland was doing a couple of things where he let a couple of things slip, and it's like, what are you going to do? Fire him? Right. Spider-Man? Okay.
Yeah, NDAs are the reason I couldn't be an actor because I would just blab to everybody. I'd be like, I'm going to be in that movie.
It's the hardest thing because I have friends who, it's like all of a sudden I'm like, holy crap, you're in that? And it's like, yeah, I couldn't say anything because of NDA. And it's just like, whoa. And their whole thing was like, it was the hardest thing to do. I couldn't tell my mother, or if they're married, I couldn't tell my husband or my wife. I couldn't say it. Well, I guess if you're married, you gotta know. But it's like your close people within your circle. You can't say anything.
Wait, you have a husband and a wife? What? Or were you just giving an
22nd
example?
century. Or no, it's the 21st century.
I know.
Wow.
Representation. No. But yeah.
Nice.
That's a whole other thing.
In the interest of keeping the snipers at bay, Rico, we do have one last thing that we subject all of our guests to.
What do you mean?
We just apologize right now.
It's not a subjection. It's
a little bit of torture.
It's an honor.
Part of the podcast.
There's a reason I didn't tell you about it beforehand because we did want to have you on, but that would be the Scotland quiz.
Quiz all about Scotland.
Scotland quiz.
And I get to ask
to see if you will be an honorary citizen.
Yeah, and even if
honorary
you get
Scotsman.
all the questions wrong, I will still bestow upon you honorary Scotthood.
Maybe.
I don't.
Maybe.
It's not a.
Give him some incentive.
Like
I know.
Not an actual thing. I don't have any powers.
Make
to
him
do
work
that.
for it.
Nobody's ever.
I feel like I should have done some.
No, that's
I feel like I
the
should have done my
beauty of
research.
it. You don't.
Oh,
Yeah.
you
just
should have.
to give me the answers to the questions.
All right, well, hit me.
Question one. There's 5 questions worth a total of like 695,000 points. So, first question: what is Scotland's national animal? Scotland's national animal.
Scotland's
Do you
national
know any
animal.
animals?
Can I give him a hint?
Well, not too much of a hint.
Okay.
A little
Is it
hint.
on four
It's
legs?
not real.
It's not a real animal.
It's not a real animal. It does not exist, or once
That
upon a
is
time
correct.
did.
It does
has
not
existed.
exist. Only
On
in
Earth.
imagination.
A pterodactyl with lasers on its forehead. Freaking lasers.
Minus 10 points. Okay.
That should be minus 5,000 points because,
Rico,
like,
we just, I know I don't like to be horrible to the guests, but we take this quiz really seriously. Okay.
let's
I would
see.
have given him bonus points for that, just
No,
for
a pterodactyl with
He
Let's
came up
see.
with an
That's
answer.
offensive to me, my people.
To be fair,
Pterodactyls with
Noah-
lasers?
Yeah.
bonus points for being offensive to Joe.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. then.
Minus 5 points plus 2 points.
All
Okay.
right.
It's the unicorn.
Hold on, let me-
The unicorn.
The unicorn?
Isn't that crazy?
It's our national
Really?
animal. Yeah. Like Wales has the dragon, not a Komodo dragon, the actual dragon, like a fire breathing.
Right. Like a
thing.
Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Smog. Okay. Question 2. Who?
What?
Okay. Who invented the television? Now that
A guy named Telly.
no,
Last name.
you really should
Vision.
know this.
No?
You're an
Okay.
actor and you appear on lots of them. The television. You should know. You should know the history of your medium. Really, Rico.
Who invented the television? Well, I answered what I thought it was, but I clearly failed.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Who invented the television?
John Logie Baird. John Logie Baird.
Logie Baird?
John Logie Baird.
Is that
John
who Yogi Bear was named
Logie-
after?
Baird.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of him?
I've
No.
never heard of him. I
Neither have I,
know.
Joe.
Did they have?
Can
I
I
joke
throw
this is
in?
the public school
schools?
system.
Yeah, did they have schools in the US?
Listen.
I'll-
I'm gonna throw in a Utah question because that's where I was born and raised from. Who invented the? Oh, you know when you turn on the television and it has to warm up the tube part of it.
Two?
The cathode ray tube?
Yeah, that one. That
Would-
was Farnsworth, and there is a statue of him in the U.S. Capitol.
Is he holding a tube?
So, that's
He
a
should
terrible
be.
question. I can't believe you interrupted the
incense
Scotland
tube?
quiz for that.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Wait, so his name is Farnsworth.
Yes.
Like Farnsworth
How come
from
they didn't call it?
Futurama. So we
How
science.
come they didn't call it the Farnsworth?
Yeah, I guess the TV was already invented. He just improved it with the.
Yeah,
With
The cathode ray
with
tube,
Yeah.
the CRT.
yeah. Okay, people, pay attention.
Okay.
Back to
Oh,
Scotland.
yes.
Sorry.
Okay.
Scotland. Back to
what
Scotland.
was-
Question.
How many points for that?
Scottish-
Zero?
Silence.
Okay.
Thank you. What is the name of the Queen's Scottish residence? So where does she live when she's in Scotland?
Where does the Queen stay when she's?
Yeah. She has a castle up here, and it's called something. Starts with a B.
Castle Bronzeworth.
I really am impressed that you have given an answer every single time. So
The wrong answer,
Every
but an
single
answer
time.
nonetheless.
No, it's
Castle
Balmoral Castle.
Bartholomew.
Balmoral.
What is it?
Balmo.
Balmoral?
Yeah. I can't say it. Balmoral. Yeah, Balmoral. You have to-
Balmoral.
Yeah. Balmoral.
I like it said that
You
way.
put me under the spot to say this. I can normally say it. Balmoral. Balmoral Castle. Balmoral
Balmoral.
Castle. Yeah. That's it. Okay.
Balmoral. Everyone say Balmoral.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that, Papa Giorgio. No, that's great. I like it.
Cool.
Balmoral.
Okay, question 4. How many years does
Okay.
the Scottish Parliament term last? Easy.
4.
Yes.
yes,
Finally!
I was sending you the hint. I'm like, there are 4 lights. I sent
Thank
it to
you.
you. Yes.
But at the end, I felt so much pressure, I almost caved in and said 5 lights. Yes.
Damn it.
I was almost there.
Wow, how many points is that, Joe?
That was 17,000 points.
Yes.
Wow.
Well done.
So you have 16,998 points.
Oh, very good.
Okay, Glasgow.
Can I catch the man?
Glasgow is the most populous city in Scotland. Okay, and it's got a subway station, a subway system like the. What do you guys? Yeah, a subway. You guys call it a subway? Yeah.
Yeah.
We call it.
Well,
we call it the.
depending on where we are.
We call it the underground. Because it's
Okay.
underground. Funnily enough.
In Chicago, it's the L because it's elevated.
It's the LA.
Okay. It's the
LA is just
third oldest subway system in the world. How many stations does it have?
12.
Oh, so close. 15.
Yeah.
I'll give you.
My old uniform number.
It's funny because you know when you
Do I-
see subway maps from around the world, like the New York subway system, and it's just a
Tokyo
sprawling
subway system.
spider
Ooh.
diagram of routes across the city. Glasgow is just a
Yeah.
single loop. It's a single loop with 15 stations.
just goes in a
Goes in
circle?
a circle, and there's another train on the other side of the tracks that does the opposite way. You can get around the whole thing in
Wow.
20 minutes. It's
That's
genius.
awesome.
Wow.
Genius.
So
There's
the
one
subway
bonus
system
question.
is literally a circle.
Say again?
It's a circle. The subway system is literally a circle.
Well, it's not. Yes, I suppose you could think of it like that, but it's not a circular because it kind of winds around
loop.
Glasgow, so it's like a
loop.
a blob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well done.
Okay.
So-
that was.
There is a bonus question.
There is a bonus question.
There is a bonus question
Is
because
this a
Rico.
redeeming question? Because I feel like I
Yes.
just basically sucked at this. But
Oh,
go
you
ahead.
did not.
so much better than.
Wait, did I get
Noah
points
Auerbach
for
cut,
the
let me tell you.
12, even though it was 15? Did I?
Yes, Joe.
Yeah, sure.
Award him some
yeah,
points.
it's 70. 70 minus the square root of plus 19.
Just
Really?
give him 3 points. The difference of
Hold on, I'm trying to integrate.
Just round it out
To
to the nearest.
to the nearest million. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
While you're doing the math,
okay. Ask the
here's
question.
your
I'm going
bonus
to work
question,
this
Rico.
out.
Yeah. Okay, so we are recording this episode. Today is March 19th, 2022. This episode will drop on Friday, March 25th, 2022. March 25th. What major holiday is that?
Oh, God. Really?
Keeping in mind who's asking the question.
It's not a Scotland question.
No.
Something that has to do with Greek culture doing what the Greeks do. Greek Independence Day?
Yes! Yes! Greek Independence Day! You just got 1 billion trillion. You're like the all-time greatest Scottish quiz winner. Like, of all time.
You're like the king of Scotland now.
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
now Joe doesn't have to do the math because your points are infinity. Infinity!
Infinity plus one.
Now I feel like I need to come to Scotland and really immerse myself in
And go to a Greek restaurant.
and go to
Also-
Greek in Scotland. Yeah.
Feast Day of the Annunciation would have also been an acceptable answer.
Say it again.
Feast Day of the
What?
Annunciation would have also been an acceptable answer.
The feast.
Yeah,
day of
but I don't think I would have.
Yeah, that's something
gotten
to
all
do with Greek Orthodox, isn't it? Religion, yeah.
Orthodox worldwide.
Okay.
But that's why that date was chosen for Greek Independence Day.
Interesting. What were you?
Because it was
What
a
were you
feast
getting
day.
independence from?
The Turks.
400
400 years of oppression and slavery under the Ottoman yoke. 1821, baby.
Okay.
Were you there, Ria?
What do you?
I wasn't, but Rico was. I mean, he was here, but
I was there.
Good times.
I was. Yeah, man. I tell you, So.
he was singing "How Much Is That Dog Food in the Window" in Chicago.
with a kid on a leash. Yeah.
That's what they say. Black people don't look as old as they no
Black
actually
don't crack.
are. Yeah,
Black
I
don't
don't
crack.
think as I'm kind of nearly middle-aged white guy, I'm allowed to say that. I think
say it all
I
the
think
time.
I might,
Black don't
I might
crack?
get cancelled maybe if I say that. You have to be very
We're
careful.
saying black don't crack.
I'm not sure. That's why I always err on the side
No.
of caution.
No,
err on the side of caution.
it's a compliment.
Yeah.
It's more of a compliment than what Papa Giorgio was like saying that I was like 2,000 years old. But yeah, it's a compliment.
Age is a compliment.
No, it's a beautiful thing to grow to a ripe old age of whatever you end up growing to. It's a blessing.
It is. Beats the alternative.
So I will proudly admit that yes, I was there. I don't know why I was there, but I was there.
You were
doing in Greece?
alive.
Hanging out. Yeah.
So, what age were you when you were there in 1821?
Oh, I was probably 7 or so. No, I never went to Greece. I've never been to Greece. I would love to go. I
know.
would love,
Me too.
I want to travel. I want to travel.
Galaxy class trip to Greece. I know a
You just
gal
had us
that's
go Galaxy class.
Stop off in Scotland first.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Let's do it.
Cool.
I will just look at flights and let me see. Los Angeles.
Yeah. Well, right now it's expensive because gas around the world is just insane.
Yeah, you're in California.
No.
You're. Whew.
Oh yeah, it's just. Geez.
What are you up to? 6, 5. Are you 6?
6 or 7, depending. Like towards like Beverly Hills, gas in Beverly Hills is expensive anyway. But with the situation currently happening, it's up there. It's way up there.
Yeah.
So traveling right now is probably going to be challenging. I used to watch this show on the Travel Channel, a couple of shows. Well, Anthony Bourdain's show,
Anthony Bourdain.
No Reservations, and then there was another one with Andrew Zimmern.
Yes.
And Andrew Zimmern, Bizarre Foods.
Yes.
What was great about both their shows was, they all toured, they all traveled around the world. But Andrew Zimmern's whole slogan is, you can learn so much about a culture through its food. And the show was both shows were really brilliant because of how they set up everything. It's like, here we are in Scotland, and we're at this restaurant that's been here for over 100 years, and and they go into like how certain foods were created based on what happened at the time, certain spices that were brought over. Yeah. It was created because this is all that was had for this thing or that thing, and it's very well structured in a way that you just like, screw big restaurants. I want to go to the little hole in the walls when I go to these countries because those are like some of the best food, that you got a little old lady who's been, cooking ever since she was a kid, and it's just like, so yeah, when I travel, the little that I have traveled, I'm a foodie. So I love taking in, but definitely going to places that, you're about to walk in there and get your mind blown by what's being served to you.
Well, and that goes to what we were saying, like learning, communicating, understanding. You're going to know more about the culture when you experience it.
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah, you put it in your mouth.
Oh my
God. This is a family show.
Well, Rico.
How are families made? All right, so here we are.
So, Rico, thank you so much.
In your mouth.
Wow.
Just ask Joe.
Okay, everyone take a drink.
Welcome to the last episode of...
I was talking about food.
Sure you were.
Anyway. Mr. Rico E. Anderson, who needs to change his middle initial to I. Then you'd have my name as your initials.
The E is very unique. Very unique.
Yeah, but RIA would be even better, but whatever. Anyway, we want to thank you so much for being with us today. This has been a ton of fun.
Thank you. I had a great time.
I've absolutely enjoyed our conversation and the discussion and what you brought to Star Trek. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure to meet you virtually, and I do hope that we will connect in person sometime.
Yeah.
Let me know whenever you're in Vegas. I'm here.
Yeah, Rico,
I will.
From millions of miles away. I haven't really listened to anything you've said. I've just stared at your pretty face for the last hour or so.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're kind of easy on
Ignore it again.
Easy on the eye. So thanks a lot.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was. I got to come to Scotland, man, and hang out,
make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Incoming transmission.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's show and hope you'll join the Facebook group Federation Council Chambers. You're welcome to start conversations with us or add any general Star Trek info you want to share with the group.
If you'd like to send us an email, you can email us directly at galaxyclass@ufp.earth, and we will read your email on the show. You can also follow us on Twitter at GalaxyClassPod.
Please hit the subscribe button on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts and leave us a star rating and written review. That helps others to find the show. You can also follow the entire network's podcasts with our master feed by searching United Federation of Podcasts. This way you won't miss any of our fine shows like All Good Things, Franchise Fatigue, Always Hold On to Arrow, History with the Szilagys, Mickey's Marvels, Sasquatch and Infinite Diversity. So Amy, where can people find you when you're trying to figure out how not to crack because you're so old?
Oh my gosh, I can't even. Okay, well, when I am trying to not crack.
To be honest, yeah, you look really youthful for your advanced years.
My advanced years. Yes, okay. Well, you can find me here on the network where I am hosting All Good Things with my good friend Mark White and Pat Devlin. You can find me on Union Federation Podcast, where I'm talking all the new Trek and Orville, which I think we need to have Rico E. Anderson on there. I am on Twitter at Miss Amy Nelson, and of course in our Facebook group page. Now, Rhea, where can people find you when you're not insulting our guests left and right?
Well, that's a toughie because that's become kind of a regular hobby. But when I'm not insulting our guests left and right, even if they have it coming, you can find me on the Federation Council Chambers, talking Star Trek and posting memes that usually have something to do with Star Trek. So, Joe, where can people find you when you are not lost on the Glasgow's sprawling subway system?
Well, do you know what? Once I did get lost, I went on the wrong way. And then instead of getting off and going on the other way, I ended up staying on and going all the way around. Oh, yeah.
So you got lost and it cost you an extra 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But when I'm not doing that, you can tweet me on the Twitter at JoeyJoe77UK. You can email me, joepodcasts@gmail.com, or you can find me on the Federation Council Chambers.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
If you'd like to help us keep all our shows coming to you each week, you can become a patron of the network on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/UFPearth to get all the details. A huge shout out to Davey Willett and our anonymous supporter for supporting the show. Thank you so much.
We would like to recognize our executive producers, Brandon Shea Mutella, Ken Tripp, Zach Moore, and Tony Robinson. We would like to thank Zach Tripp for our opening and closing music, and a huge shout out to Tony Robinson for our amazing artwork each and every week.
Thank you for beaming aboard the Galaxy class, and until next time.
White does crack like the bed of a dried up river during a drought. Ask Amy.
Great joy and gratitude.
Zito y helada! Stay classy, Galaxy.
That was Happy Independence Day in Greek.
I was like, live Greece!
Engage.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
This is what I want you all to do, because
man, he's already giving us assignments. Okay. We're the teachers here.
Yeah, I know. Well, the teacher becomes the students who, I don't know, whatever that thing.
How very zen. That's that incense going to your head.
Yes.
Yeah, probably so, because it's, what is it? Sandalwood. So, you know.
That is my favorite.
Sandalwood. Yeah.
Sandalwood. 3/4 of the way of the interview. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay. Guys love it. No. So, I'm originally from Chicago. And the the con is going to be held, I believe, at the McCormick Place.
It is.
Okay. I got a little history with the McCormick Place. It's a good thing. So when I was a little bitty Rico, like this little, I went to Holy Angels Catholic School, and we had this this play that we did. It was kind of like a little kiddie talent show. And do y'all know the song, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?
In the window.
Yeah, exactly. So they changed it to How Much Is That Dog Food in the Window? So they had 5 little kids and then 5 other little kids dressed up as dogs. They had the little dog costume. So I performed on the stage I performed that song on the stage that I'm pretty sure they're going to do the panels on and everything. I think it's the big stage, whatever their Hall H type San Diego Comic-Con type stage is going to be. If that stage is going to be used, just know that years ago there was a little bitty Rico on stage holding a leash with a kid dressed in a dog costume, falsetto, because puberty hadn't kicked in, because little Rico, and I'm singing, how much is that dog put in the window? So that's your assignment. Whenever you see that stage, just know I'm not there, but I was there.
Yeah.
Boom.
All right, Rico.
Lovely story.
Thanks for having me.
I'm not going to look at the stage the same. I just won't.
It will be, it's vainglorious. So
Nice.
Yeah.